Welcome to Horseshoe Politics. Today is September 23rd, 2020. As you can see on screen right now, I just typed the date out. Now you may already be able to tell this is going to be a different sort of video from any other video that has been on my channel so far. Every other video on my channel has either been me doing a voiceover and then putting images as a visual aid, or they've been me doing election simulations on the political map simulation website. But this video, I will be using Microsoft Paint, or just Paint as you would call it. Is it by Microsoft? I don't know, but that doesn't matter. I'll be using Paint in this video to illustrate what all I would like to show you guys. I thought that I don't need any sort of complex software to do this video. I thought Paint would just be good enough of a software to show you what I need to show you for this video. So the topic of this video is how all three branches of government can be affected, of the US government can be affected by the 2020 presidential election. So there's three branches of government. There's the legislative branch, and in this case it's the Senate that's affected. Yup. And then there's the let me shade out this square first, that text that I put earlier. I do not know how to use this very well, but fill, solid fill. There. Now go back to text. There we go. Legislative, executive branch, which includes the president. I guess it also includes the vice president, but for this video specifically, what matters the most is the president. And then there's the judicial branch, which in this case includes Supreme Court. Obviously, the judicial branch is not just the Supreme Court, but for the sake of this video, this is what actually matters. Legislative branch is not only the Senate, it's also the House, but for this video, the legislative branch, the Senate is what matters the most for talking about this election and how the branches interact with each other. So we have these three branches, right? Legislative, executive, judicial. And here's why all three branches are up for re-election, or up for election in one way or another. Basically, all three branches are going to be affected by this election in some form or another at the top levels: the Senate, the President, and the Supreme Court. And all three branches will impact each other based on the results of this election, which I'll talk about now. So first, you have the President, obviously, and this is Donald Trump, and then Joe Biden. Let me do that. Yeah. And then you have the legislative branch, which is Senate. Here's not specific candidates because the Senate's made up of 100 people. So it's just Democrats versus Republicans. So I'll just put D versus R. And then judicial branch, you just have Supreme Court justice, which is not necessarily any political party for the Supreme Court. It's just whoever can do their job the best. But usually a Republican president nominates conservative judges, Democratic president nominates liberal judges. So just Supreme Court justice. So this is not necessarily like any sort of partisan thing, but it can be in certain instances. So you have legislative, executive, judicial. You have Democrats versus Republicans in the Senate, Donald Trump versus Joe Biden in the presidency, executive branch, and then judicial branch, you have Supreme Court justice. So here's the most obvious thing. You have the presidency, Donald Trump versus Joe Biden. So one of the reasons why this matters in relation to the Supreme Court judicial branch, it's what's being talked about a lot. It's because the president has to nominate the Supreme Court justice. So let's draw an arrow for that. Is there an arrow option? Line, but is there an arrow option? Screw it, I'm just doing a line. So go to text, nominates. But then you also have the other way around, where the Supreme Court justices, why this matters, how it affects the president, is the Supreme Court justices can declare executive orders unconstitutional. See, Presidents, whenever they implement an executive order, the Supreme Court has the power to declare that executive order unconstitutional. That's the principle of judicial review. If they say this is unconstitutional, the president will be obligated to not do that executive order anymore. So this is how these two branches relate with each other. Now you have legislative branch, and in this instance, the Senate that matters. They have to approve whenever the president nominates the justice, the Supreme Court, the legislative branch, more specifically the Senate, has to approve that. So approve Supreme yeah. But then you have going the other way also, because a Supreme Court justice or the Supreme Court as a whole, they can declare laws unconstitutional. Just like with executive orders for the executive branch, the Supreme Court can declare laws from the legislative branch unconstitutional as well. And then you have the ways that these two branches influence each other. You have the president being able to veto the Senate. President can veto Senate. But then here's the other thing. The Senate can override that. And then also the Senate can impeach presidents. That's the other thing. Senate can which is what mattered a lot earlier this year, because the Senate was not able to or not impeach, actually kick out, sorry. Wrong terminology. Impeach is you already just give them like a formal indictment, but the Senate, that's what the House of Representatives does, but the Senate actually is what is able to kick them out of office. Can kick. A lot of people use the term impeachment in the wrong way, because they usually mean, when they say impeachment, they usually mean kick out of office, but impeachment's a different thing. Impeachment is by the House of Representatives, but kicking out of office by the Senate. You need 2/3 majority for overriding the veto, 2/3 majority for kicking out of office. There were only 47 Democratic senators plus Mitt Romney, which is 48, which was not enough, which is not a 2/3 majority, so they could not kick Donald Trump out of office earlier this year. So now you have all the ways in which the branches interact with each other. But now you have 4 possible results in this election. You either have Democrats winning both the legislative branch and the executive branch, Democrats and Joe Biden. You have Republicans winning both, Republicans and Donald Trump. Or you have Democrats here, Republicans there, or Democrats here, Republicans there. So there's 4 possible options. You have both Democrats, both Republicans, or Democrats in one but Republicans in the other. So let's talk about each possible outcome now. So if the Democrats win the presidency, aka Joe Biden, but they also win the Senate, then Joe Biden will easily be able to push through a new Supreme Court justice, because Joe Biden will be able to nominate a more liberal judge, and he'll have enough senators to approve that justice for the Supreme Court, because if he has at least 50 Democrats on his side, then he should have an easy time approving any justice that he nominates, unless the justice is too extreme, which is not likely, because Joe Biden's a relatively moderate candidate. And then if you have both the Republicans winning both the legislative branch and the executive branch, it's a similar story. But instead, with Democrats and liberals, you'd have Republican President Donald Trump nominating a conservative justice, and then the Republican Senate would be able to easily approve of them. But then you have the 2 other options. Democrats win the Senate, but Donald Trump wins the presidency, in which case Donald Trump would have a hard time pushing through a new justice. But then you also have the other way around. Joe Biden wins the presidency, but Donald Trump loses the presidency, but Republicans still win the Senate, in which case, in either case, with the Senate being a different party than the presidency, the president will have a hard time pushing through a new justice, because the Senate will not likely approve of a justice nominated by a president of a different political party. So these are the 4 possibilities. Out of all these possibilities, I think that the Democratic one is most likely, but Democratic-Republican one is also pretty likely. I don't think Republican President Donald Trump is likely to win re-election, so I think these 2 ones, with the president being Democrat, is a lot more likely as of now. I think this is the most likely as of now, because even though Democrats are only 47 seats in the Senate right now, they're projected to win a lot of their swing Senate seats, as in Arizona, North Carolina, what's the other one? Maine, yeah. Democrats are projected to win most of those, so Democrats the most likely outcome. So here's how the three branches will interact with each other. I might go into more detail with this diagram tomorrow. Today I just wanted to show you the basic ways in which this election dictates how each branch of the government will be run after this election. I just wanted to show that in this video, how the Supreme Court justice is chosen by the president, but this legislative branch, aka the Senate, also has to prove that. So all these branches interact with each other. All three of these branches are up for election now because of the death of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I would say the death of the Supreme Court justice just added another layer of complexity to this election, because now there's more on the line for whoever wins the presidency. But I think that's all I have to say for this video. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you tune into tomorrow's video. I'll see you then.